Now, every day that I'm doing this work, I'm just in awe that I've been able to be a part of that and a part of this movement to truly educate generations of young people and older people and everyone to embrace healthy habits. But what I've seen is that Chelsea's support has gone even deeper. She has shared my story to countless audiences through her book and has visited schools and talked about what I do, and that to me is so incredible. She's also publicly celebrated my work and accomplishments on social media and counted me on a list of impressive people that she admires. And so all of that not only catapults my mission to inspire healthier generations, but it also empowers youth to do the same and follow their own passions. And so truly, for all that she does and all that she's done for me and for other young people, encouraging them, empowering them, and supporting them to contribute positively to the things that they care about, and for her incredible humanitarian work, I am so incredibly honored to introduce and present Chelsea Clinton with the 2017 Power of Women Award. Thank you.
Well, I hope you're all standing for Haley, so Haley's 16. So I've had the privilege of knowing her for about a third of her life, which is rather extraordinary. And since she acknowledged that I shamelessly exploit every possible opportunity to share her story and brag about her, I'll start with doing just that. When she was 7, her father was diagnosed with diabetes. And she knew that if he could eat healthier and lose a little weight and maybe be persuaded to exercise, he could reverse his diabetes. And so she first encouraged her parents to make healthier choices, and then she went to her mom, who's here, and she said, I really want to be the family chef. And her mother said, "You're 7." And she said, no, I really think I can do this. And her mother said, well, if you stay within our family budget and you don't do anything too dangerous, okay. And so she became the family chef, and thankfully her father liked what she cooked, and her father got healthier and ultimately reversed his diabetes. And then she helped other children who were similarly inspired to help their families be healthy. And then she launched an online cookbook, and now she has a YouTube show where she helps other young people and those of us that may not be so young be healthy. And I just find her so extraordinary because I think we often don't know where we're going to wind up in life. We just have to start. And so she started solving a challenge in her own family, and now she is empowering countless young people and not so young people around the country. So please give Haley another round of applause. In 2005, after my father had quadruple bypass surgery, he reached out to the American Heart Association, and I'm so thrilled that Nancy Brown, the CEO of the American Heart Association, could be with us today to ask what he could do to better promote heart health. And he thought they were going to say, please be the poster child for why it's never too late to start making healthier decisions in life. And please talk about why it's so important that men actually go to the doctor when they have chest pains. And they did say that. But they also said, please help us figure out how to tackle the epidemic of childhood obesity in our country. Because childhood obesity is one of the leading risk factors for heart disease later in life. It's something that disproportionately affects low-income children, it disproportionately affects children of color, and it disproportionately affects girls. So if you care about equity or economic justice or gender equality in supporting and empowering girls, you have to care about childhood obesity. So my father was persuaded, and the American Heart Association and the Clinton Foundation launched the Alliance for a Healthier Generation. And so today, more than a dozen years later, We've worked in more than 35,000 schools with more than 21 million kids, helping school districts figure out how to afford healthier options so that tater tots aren't just on the menu every day at lunch, figure out how to get physical activity back into kids' school days, something that is really important when less than 10% of American elementary and middle school kids have daily recess any longer. We've worked with the National Beverage Association, so there are now 90% fewer calories shipped to schools and beverages than was true 10 years ago. So think a lot more water and low-fat milk than full-calorie soda or full-fat milk. Because we know that all of those changes that might seem small in and of themselves add up to make a really big difference. And I'm particularly grateful that we have our Commissioner of New York City Public Schools with us, Commissioner Farina, here with us, because she and the New York City Public School District have been really leading the way to prove what is possible. And when you have more than 1 million kids in your public school system, you're making a big difference. Haley's story is what we believe is possible for any and every child, to not only make healthier choices for herself, but to help make her family's choices healthier as well. Because having a healthy school meal, understanding what even a healthy meal choice is, should not be a luxury in 2017 in the United States of America, and yet too often is treated as such. I think if there's kind of one theme across the various people who've spoken today, it's what we believe every person and every child should be both protected from and provided with. Every child should be protected from sex trafficking. Every child should be protected from any type of exploitation. Every child should be protected from homelessness, and God forbid, if that is a reality, provided with a safe home. Every child should be provided with every educational opportunity to enable her or him to stretch to the limits of their imagination, their talents, their work ethic. Every child should have the chance to discover whether or not she or he could be the next Jessica or Lena or Gail or Beyonce. Every child should be able to go to a school where healthy choices are the default and the expectation. Every child should know that if she or he needs legal support, they would be able to get it. And I just want to say a particular word of gratitude to Sherry, because as some of you may or may not know, my mother was actually the chair of the Legal Services Corporation in the 1980s. And so I am particularly proud and grateful for the example that my mother's always set. I think one of the common themes we've heard today is, to whom much is given, much is expected. What my grandmother always said, those of us who have been blessed have a responsibility to always be expanding the circle of blessings. What my parents have translated as, it's always better to get caught trying than to have never tried at all. And so I'm just so deeply honored to be in this company today. I'm incredibly grateful to Variety for recognizing the work of the Alliance and believing that every child deserves an equally healthy start in life, an equally healthy chance to grow up and to develop healthy habits to chart their own course forward. And I will, I guess, just end by saying, Vanessa, we may be able to say in this room today that no one's mother is currently president, but someday someone's will be. Thank you very much.